Proverbs 16 verse 3 states, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." I have always said, as Samoans, our main export product are ourselves. Samoans, Samoan people, Samoan talent, our culture, our humour, and our uniqueness. The establishment of this office, the foresight, the vision, the fortitude of the Ministry of Finance and their stakeholders, because these programs, they benefit our people. We need to work. We need to be diligent. We need to be faithful. We need to be righteous and truthful in our work. This evening, our prayer. These offices, these premises, this Matangan Wenga and its people. Lord, may your hand be upon them. Shower them with your blessings. Let this place be a place, that reflects that you are a God of blessings, of prosperity. You are a God of love.
Lau sunga le te le sauninga, lau sunga le whawhengainga, lau sunga si osi sansu. It's always a pleasure to listen to you, not only preaching the Word of God in its most meaningful way, but also your sense of humor. It's always a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. Thank you so much. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, High Commissioner for Australia to Samoa, Your Excellency William Robinson, High Commissioner of New Zealand, Samoa, Your Excellency CLA and Toor, representatives of our L.E.E.P partners, NIP New Zealand, PACER Plus Implementation Unit, Chief Executive Officers, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me pleasure to deliver the keynote address marking the official opening of our L.E.E.P office here at the National Provident Fund building at Matawhele. I extend a warm welcome to all our distinguished guests and everyone in attendance today. The Labour and Employment Export Program, or L.E.E.P, started under the Ministry of the Prime Minister and Cabinet in 2011 as the Seasonal Employment Unit. It was then moved to the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Labour, MSIL, in 2017 with the development of Samoa's labour mobility policy and renamed as L.E.E.P. In October 23, it became part of the Minister of Finance's portfolio when the cabinet reshuffle took place. Although the L.E.E.P is a special unit of the Ministry of Finance, its location outside of the ministry's central office indicates the government's commitment to prioritize public access to L.E.E.P services. The setup is similar to another special unit of the Ministry of Finance, the Civil Society Support Program, or CSSP, which is also located outside the ministry for ease of public access on the ground floor of this National Provident Fund building. The L.E.E.P office consists of the office space on level 1 here and a conference room facility, on this level 2, which is shared with CSSP. The L.E.E.P's new organization structure approved in the first supplementary of 23-24 saw the transition of country liaison officers under the oversight and budget of the Ministry, Foreign Affairs and Trade, with direct supervision by the Consul Generals in Sydney and Auckland respectively, complemented by core staff funded under the Ministry of Finance budget headed by an Assistant Chief Executive Officer, and additional local staff funded by the Pacific Labour Facility with external expert support. These arrangements have tremendously helped with the daily workload The government is also committed to recruit more country liaison officers, maximum of 3 per country, Australia and New Zealand, so that there is sufficient to cover the different locations within each country and adequate support for our people, given the rising social issues encountered. The transfer of the L.E.E.P mandate to the Ministry of Finance was of course accompanied by Samoa's policy for temporary labour migration under the labour mobility schemes of Australia and New Zealand, approved in August 2023 by Cabinet. Thus, under the oversight of the L.E.E.P Task Force, the Ministry of Finance socialized the new policy in order to raise awareness among stakeholders before rolling out implementation in this financial year. These awareness sessions started in November 2023 with a workshop for local recruiters, followed by sessions with most of the 51 district councils in March to April of this year, 2024. A presentation to one of the Samoa Chamber of Commerce's events in May 2024 before submission of a new fees proposal to the National Revenue Board. These new fees, the 50 tāla administrative fee per confirmed temporary worker and the 1,000 tāla per participating district council per annum, were endorsed by Cabinet and subsequently approved in the 2024-25 budget. The approved fees became effective this month, July 2024. The policy socialization process has been challenging given staff shortage, hence the delay and the need to complete stakeholder consultations using other forms and other forums, such as the upcoming RSE conference in New Zealand in September of this year. As you may all be aware, part of the whole L.E.E.P process is now rolled over to district councils, or whanawhāwai, as they are the critical and integral part of the new selection process under the new policy. These efforts are aligned to the pathway for the development of Samoa, PDS, under the key strategic outcome 2, diversified and sustainable economy, specifically for key priority area number 10, increased labour mobility. Through the temporary labour migration policy, the government ensures measures are in place to stimulate labour mobility in a way beneficial to both sending and receiving countries, owing to their significant contribution to the national economy and the opportunities generated for individuals, households, and communities. Therefore, the government is committed to strengthening relationships with our partners, particularly New Zealand and Australia, in regards to the Recognised Seasonal Employer Scheme, RSE, and the Pacific Australia Labour Mobility, or PALM scheme, as well as other opportunities beyond these schemes. On that note, I wish to acknowledge the continuous and tremendous support from the governments of Australia and New Zealand through technical and financial assistance, the Samoa Labour Employment and Export Program, especially in improving service delivery and stakeholder engagement. I would also like to acknowledge the ongoing technical labour mobility support provided by the PACER Plus Implementation Unit, as well as the UN International Organization for Migration, based in Apia. Let me also take this opportunity to recognize the strategic oversight of the L.E.E.P Task Force, the leadership of the Ministry of Finance, and of course, the hard-working L.E.E.P staff. We endeavour to further enhance the L.E.E.P officer's services to all stakeholders as we will continue this progressive journey from the new office and beyond. I therefore, with great pleasure, on behalf of the Government of Samoa, officially launch and declare the unveiling of this new office, L.E.E.P office, at this SNPF building. So I pour my manuia.
Talofa lava, everyone, and first of all, can you forgive the breach in protocol? But we've got the Australian High Commissioner, Will Robinson, here with us today, but he's given me the great honour to speak today. So I'm Claire McGeechan, Deputy High Commissioner for the Australian High Commission. Reverend Minister Lautimua, CEO Ministry of Finance, and other colleagues from the Ministry, and of course friends and colleagues from the L.E.E.P unit and others with us here today. Again, it's a great pleasure to be here this afternoon to witness the blessing and celebration of the official opening of the Labour and Employment Export Program, or L.E.E.P, office. So I'll start by just offering my warm congratulations to the Ministry of Finance on the opening of this new office. In recognising the shifts in portfolio responsibility, I'll get my... for labour mobility last year to the Ministry of Finance, the Pacific Labour Facility Program was pleased to have supported the renovations for the new office. So we hope this new facility will allow you to continue carrying out your very important and very large workloads as you help the men and women of Samoa who are interested in taking up labour mobility opportunities in Australia and New Zealand. It is our hope that the Pacific Australia Labour Mobility Scheme is a genuine partnership between Australia and Samoa. We know the partnership provides significant economic benefits to both of our countries, as well as the workers, families and communities that engage with the program. But of course, we also recognise, as has been spoken about, that there are challenging social impacts for labour mobility on communities in Samoa, and there are concerns about the welfare of workers in Australia. So let me reassure you that Australia is committed to working with Samoa to ensure that labour mobility participation is on Samoa's terms. We'll continue to focus on reforms to address social and worker welfare concerns, including through better government oversight, better conditions for workers, greater support for workers, including through the fantastic community liaison officers in Australia and New Zealand, as well as for more opportunities for scheme workers to obtain formal qualifications. Here in Apia, we want to continue our support to the L.E.E.P unit to enable you to continue your important work in preparing, mobilising, supporting and reintegrating Samoan workers participating in the scheme. We're doing this through, as has been outlined, the provision of technical advisors and funding for additional HR resources, equipment and relevant activities as guided by Samoa. We'll continue to engage with you as you finalise your domestic labour mobility policy to ensure that our labour mobility partnership remains mutually beneficial, and to further align our support to the delivery of the new policy's objectives. So I'll close just by reiterating Australia's commitment to our strong and enduring partnership that contributes to the deepening of our economic and, more importantly, people-to-people links. We look forward to continuing our work with Samoa to meet your aspirations for an empowered and prosperous community. Pawhatai tele lava.
Talofa lava, everybody. Kia ora koutou. Great to be here today. Reverend Minister Siausi Salusulu, thank you for your beautiful remarks. I agree with the Minister that it's always such a pleasure to listen to your sermons, the wisdom but also the humour. Minister of Finance, Lautimua, Ministry of Finance CEO, Sale Titi, ladies and gentlemen, honoured guests, hi. First, a massive kia ora and congratulations to your wonderful new office and growing your huge and expanding team. It's truly a really significant achievement and we want to acknowledge that. The establishment and the growth of this office, it's a physical testament to the importance and impact of labour mobility in Samoa, and we're really proud to be a part of that. New Zealand and Samoa's labour mobility relationship, it goes back to 2007, and as one of the early movers on the scheme, Samoa continues to be one of our biggest providers. Through the RSE program, we've augmented our special relationship and formed new ones. Some of you may know about the sister city agreement between Hastings and Whalealili, which is very dynamic. especially through the Potasi Development Trust. We've always emphasised the mutually beneficial nature of the RSE scheme. Samoan workers support some of New Zealand's key industries and have really helped grow our economy. However, we always recognise that there's always a cost in sending labour, as the speakers today have talked about. The cost is on families at times, as you've outlaid, Reverend Minister. There's a cost in terms of local human resource and on the workers themselves. We acknowledge that. This is why we continue to complement the RSE scheme with the integral wraparound support and knowledge and skills transfer to maximise the benefits of participation. One example of that, the New Zealand government in 2020 supported a pilot program, which some of you may know about. It's since turned into a commercial service. It's known as the Seasonal Worker Superannuation Administration Service, and that enables RSE workers to make voluntary contributions to their home superannuation schemes. And to date, more than 2,300 Samoan RSE workers are making regular contributions to the Samoa National Provident Fund, estimated value of $4.7 million over the last couple of years. So we're on this journey together. That's the key takeaway message from me today. And as we reflect on this, I want to acknowledge all of those involved in the ongoing success of the program. First and foremost, the workers themselves and their families, as we've outlined. Secondly, the participating villages and districts. And thirdly, the Minister of Finance, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and all of the other government ministries that make this possible. Thank you very much.
Give you the honours.
Are we going to count down? 1, 2, 3.
Hey. I saw that the previews got there first.